Hello everybody! This week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to jump out of sequence from our normal travel videos because we want to show you our internet gear that we got. If you remember, when we were at the West Coast HDT rally, we shared a seminar in its entirety about mobile connectivity, and that was through a company called RV Mobile Connect. Now we went ahead and got their internet equipment, and we finally had all the parts catch up with us and have been able to get it installed and configured, and we want to just show all that to you and share it with you because it's pretty exciting. We're very impressed with it. So we're going to jump out of time this week, bring that to you, and we'll be back with our normal travel videos next week. I'm in here with my boxes, and I'm pretty excited because we got our new internet gear. So the first thing are the routers, and these are Cradlepoint. It's the IBR 900 router, and it's small, which is nice because it'll be easy to mount. You can put it pretty much anywhere you want. And the little door here that unscrews, you can put 2 SIM cards in it. So we're going to run ours with one AT&T SIM card and one Verizon SIM card. And what it'll do is it'll search for the best service, and it'll grab and use whichever one is coming in better. Power connector in the back. Now this comes with a 110 plug. So you can just plug it into your wall, and then that plugs into the back of the little router there. Or it also comes with a set of wires, and you can hardwire it directly to your 12-volt RV battery. You've got a series of wires, and they have instructions on how to connect it to your battery, and then the other end is the plug-in that goes into the back of the router. And they recommend plugging it in somewhere where you can just leave it on all the time. It's a very small power draw. Because we have solar and we have an automatic transfer switch in our inverter, anytime we go off of shore power, whether we unplug or if the power goes out or whatever, the rig automatically switches over to solar, and it's a seamless transition. So I'm not too worried about it. If it loses power, I'm just going to use the 110 plug-in and plug it into my power strip. And then it also comes with a set of, make sure I get the right ones, which ones are which. So it comes with a set of Wi-Fi antennas and a set of cellular antennas that go right on the box. The nice thing about this is if you don't hard mount it, you can hard mount it directly to a wall or something like that. But if you decide not to do that and you have it where you can pick it up and move it, you can always take it with you when you travel. You can take it in your car. You can get a car plug-in adapter to power it while you're in your vehicle. You can use it in a hotel room to boost the hotel's Wi-Fi. There's a lot you can do with this system other than just using it on your rig. So a lot of different uses for it. And then with these antennas, they're gonna pick up a lot more signal than your standard internal antenna. So that's that. And we got 2 of them. I'm gonna get to the antenna next. We're gonna do a little bit of a different kind of installation with the antenna. You can put it on your roof. Let me show you ours. And because of how we're gonna install ours, we got what they call the Husky. It's the big antenna. They also make a smaller one. It's like a little square box, but it's an external antenna. So this is the roof mount antenna, and it comes with all the wires you need to connect it to the router, and then right here, if you were going to roof mount it on your RV, that's where you would need to drill a hole to run the wires through and connect them to your batteries in the RV. What we're going to do is we are going to mount it on the back of the semi where the GPS used to be. And one thing they sell, another option for mounting, is you can mount it on a pole and put it on the back of your RV on the ladder. And then you'd have a telescoping antenna and you could run it up whenever you want. So one of the other pieces of equipment we got was their pole mount adapter. And that's this right here. Now, I don't know, I was expecting something more like a glorified C-clamp or something. This thing is stout. It's really sturdy. So what we're going to do is this is going to go against the back of the cab right at the roof line, and then the antenna is going to sit on top of this, and it's going to be up at the top of the truck. Sometimes we have to park the truck somewhere else. So that's why we went with the 2 routers, because we're going to mount 1 router in the truck, 1 router in the trailer, and then even if they have to be parked away from each other when we're camping, which rarely happens, but if it does, then they'll be able to communicate with each other, and we'll be able to keep that signal flowing between the truck and the trailer and keep a good signal. So, a little bit of an unconventional installation for right now.
Okay, this is where we mounted it on the back of the truck. I'm going to stand on my generator. Probably shouldn't do it, but I'll do it anyway, so I don't have to be pointing up anywhere. I wanted to mount it to this, but I would have had to mount a flat piece of stainless on the top of this, and then drill this hole here. So I went this route with the pole mounting bracket. This here comes with U-clamps like you see here. It comes with these things, and you can clamp it through these 6 holes up here by using the U-clamps that wrap around the pole. But I wanted to permanently put it onto the truck. So what I did, the hardest part is this. It's very hard. And that's drilling a hole through your truck. It's almost as bad as drilling a hole through the roof of your rig. But anyway, I wanted to get it up as high as I could, but yet not be, that far above. So it's right at the flush mark right there. I drilled 4 holes for the bolts, and then I drilled a big hole about like that, because they give you, I think it's 8 wires that come with this, and they come down and they go through the cab or the sleeper. This is some conduit, some bendable conduit, I don't know what you call it, that I just ran them through. And then I ran this sleeve through the cab, probably about that much. Put butyl tape on the back and bolted everything down. Siliconed inside and outside, and then I put butyl tape. Probably overdid it, I don't know. The last thing I want to do is have water run through. But that's it. As you can see, you can mount this thing, if you want to, you can mount it flush on top of here, but you'd still have to drill this hole to go down through. Or you can mount it flush on your camper, but you'd still have to drill this hole. This is 3M tape right here. You can peel this off and just stick it down. So let's go inside. Okay, so this is about where it's ran, right here. Remember, that's all fiberglass on the back side. You got a strut that runs right here. I went to this side of the strut. But the pipe comes in right there with the pipe, or the
wires?
The pipe comes in right there with the wires. The flexible pipe that I got. And then I ran it straight down, all 8 wires. Ran it right along here, took all this off, ran it right along in here, back behind this, and up inside here. Okay, so running it through and then back up inside here, because there is a cigarette lighter which is hot all the time. And I ran it back in there, and I've got a small, I don't know, it's a small, I don't know what you would call it, inverter, I guess. And it plugs into the cigarette lighter, and it has 2 110 outlets. And we plug this into it. You have your GPS, 2 antenna wires here, 2 antenna wires here, and there's your SIM card buttons right there, or SIM card install, whatever you call them. I haven't gotten real fancy on the wiring, because I don't want to bend them too much. I've got these 4 wires coming out, and then the other 2, I think there was 6 of them, 6 or 7 wires, I can't remember. The other 2 I have just tucked back down in there as much as I could. We have it just sitting here for right now. I don't know if I'm going to hard mount it or not. If I do, I'm going to put some spacers like that much, just so it's got a little bit of breathing room, because up in here, inside this sleeper, it's hot. And then you get even confined more inside here, and it gets a little warm. This thing is a little warm to the touch. You could probably sit here and hold it for 10 minutes, but it's going to get warm. So I want to kind of keep it up off of there. I don't want to hard mount it on the side or anything like that. I think I'll just lay it here. Nothing goes up in here. So that was, like I said, the only thing that was hard was drilling through your sleeper. That was the hardest part for me.
Hard as in hard for your heart.
Yes.
Not hard to do.
It wasn't hard to do at all. You just drill through, and I gotta just drill through. Running the wires, everything is self-explanatory, and bada bing, bada boom. That's it.
So now that we have all of our gear mounted, let's talk about setup. So the first thing they do that's really nice that helps you get everything set up is when it's time to connect your antenna to your router. They have a card that comes with the antenna with the QR code. So on your cell phone, you just scan the QR code and it takes you right to their website with the instructions on how to connect your antenna. And as it pulls it up, you'll see there's a list of various types of antennas. Now we have the Husky, so we just scroll down to Husky, click on that, and then it takes us to the directions specific to the Husky. And all of those wires that are coming out of the antenna, they're all individually labeled, and they have little protective caps on them. So you just follow the list, and it tells you which lead connects to what part of your router box. And it's super simple. Very easy, takes all the guesswork out of it. And then the next step is getting your router set up. Now when it comes to your routers, they have an app, Cradlepoint Verify. And they also, when you order your equipment, they will send you a link to go onto Cradlepoint on the web and set up a web account. So you go in and you set up your web account with your password. If I remember right, I think they send you a temporary username and password. And you go in, you set up your account, and then when you log into the app, you use that same login information to get into the app to help you set up your router. Then as you go through the installation app, it'll confirm what equipment you have, and then you just scroll through one screen at a time and it tells you exactly what to do. Again, it's a really easy, almost a foolproof setup two important points that we found out when we were setting it up is you do have to have internet connectivity to get it to initialize the first time. So if you're in a dead zone, my suggestion would be wait till you're in an area with cell service with whatever SIM card you're going to use and go ahead and set it up then. And you have to have one SIM card in the router, and the router door has to be secured to it. Otherwise, the device won't power up. And then they also take you through the instructions on attaching your Wi-Fi and cellular antennas and getting it hooked up to your system. Very simple, very easy, very straightforward process. So for our setup, you can see we have the one router in the truck that's connected to the exterior antenna. That's the really high-powered antenna that's going to draw in the maximum amount of Wi-Fi or cellular that you have in your area. And then we also got a second one, and this is the one that's going to go in the RV. This will also be our one if we want to take it with us. Say we go on a trip, we go on a cruise, we go stay in a hotel somewhere, or we just want internet while we're out and about. We want some boost while we're out and about in the car. This is going to be our go-to for that, and it's going to be mounted here in the RV, and that way the truck and the RV can talk to each other when we're stationary, and then when we want to go somewhere away from the RV, we can just take that one with us. The second router for us was only as a backup for redundancy in case we end up somewhere where we have to park the truck away from the RV, but we still want that signal boost, and then they can talk to each other. So how has it been working for us? I know that's the big question. Here where we stay in Arkansas, we have never had cell access or cell phone service at the house. 0 bars. I use the app OpenSignal to find cellular service when we're out camping. If you pull up OpenSignal for where we are, there's no cell phone service anywhere around here. It shows us being in a dead zone. And then the closest service it shows is up the road a little ways, and it shows poor service there. So we've never had any kind of cell phone service sitting where we are right now. The other thing too is we've never been able to have any kind of cell signal between here and town, and we're about 20 miles out of town. We pretty much, other than maybe a couple of short spots along the road, have pretty much always had to wait until we were in town to have cell signal access. We took that out on the truck and tested it out, drove all over town. I was able to surf the internet from the cell signal we were getting off of the antenna on the roof. I was able to surf the internet from town all the way back to the house without any interruptions and at really decent speeds. I didn't do a speed test on it to see what the speeds were, but as I was changing pages, internet surfing, things were loading quickly. I wasn't having to sit there and wait a long time for things to load. We pull into the driveway. We're kind of down in a hole, surrounded by hills, and parked underneath 2 big pine trees. That's the only place we have to park the truck when we're here. I can still get enough cell signal off of the antenna on the truck to get on the web here at the house. That has never happened before. So in that regard, I am extremely impressed by it. It has definitely boosted our ability to get online while we're out here. The other thing too is we have used it kind of as a jumper between the Viasat satellite internet on the house and the RV. When we got here in the spring, we had Viasat satellite installed on the house, and it was great sitting here in the RV working on the laptop until we built the RV pad and moved the RV away from the house. And then anytime I wanted to do anything on the laptop, I had to bundle everything up and take it over to the house and work on it over there. So since we have this system set up, it's giving us kind of a jump boost between the house and the RV. And now I can sit here at my workstation in the RV, go online, do anything I need to do, upload videos, and it has been working great. So are we happy with it? Yes, very happy with it. We can't wait to get out on the road and test it while we're traveling and at different camping locations. And we're going to be heading out before too long to head to the National HDT Rally. So, yeah, we are very pleased with how it's working for us. Really impressed with how much signal it's bringing in. The fact that it has grabbed signal out here where we've never had any bars, just a big X on the phone for cell signal. And now you can look at your indicator, and on here, your lights here, when you have full service, you'll have 4 blue lights there. And ours are, we're getting 4 blue lights, full bars from that roof antenna. So that's our installation, our first impressions. If you have any questions about it, about our setup, about how it's running, let us know. Again, that's through RV Mobile Connect, and the contact there is Brian. And if you do talk to him, or if you log on to the website and you happen to order through their website, use the referral code Tipsy Marlin, or tell him that we sent you. It helps us and it helps him. And yeah, we're thrilled. We will do another update just on how it's working for us after we've had a chance to get out on the road and try it out some. But great impressions so far. All right, that's going to do it for this week, and we will be back to a usual travel video when we see you again next week. Until then, everybody stay blessed and stay safe.